Now, I've been dreading making this video. I had some footage, I guess, some voiceover work, because I had already watched the first half of season 5 of Sistas, and I made a big voiceover where I apologized to Tyler Perry for being so upset in my last video because I saw the vision. So I guess you can know what episode I ended off at. I ended off at the episode or the episode right after Danny made up with Preston. So I was very happy. I thought I saw the vision, and I was just like, wow, Tyler, I guess you were playing the long game. I underestimated you. Oh, I'm so stupid for that. I'm so stupid for that. So before we get into it, let's go off with disclaimers. This is just for fun. If you want Kidology, Shakespeare, or Khadija Mumbo, go watch them. Okay, I watch them sometimes too. Now, they are also not infallible. They can also be wrong. It's one of the reasons why I don't make content like that, because everything is an opinion, even if you try to back it up with facts. Alright? Now, these are just my personal opinions on the show. I'm watching this for fun. This channel is for fun. If you agree or disagree, put it down below, but please be respectful. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going to go character by character. That way I can have an aim and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There is one person I do not know the name of, and that is the girl that Fatima is using to trick Hayden. Before I get into character by character, we need to discuss something right now. Story writing. Tyrone Perry, huh? I'm gonna need you to oh my God. You know what? Another disclaimer. I know it's a soap opera type show, meaning that it doesn't have to be written well, which is kind of a cop-out, but I'll let it slide. Okay, I'm sure The Young and the Restless or Time After Time or whatever those old soap operas were weren't written properly either. But when Tyler Perry does this, it is so annoying. Because one of the things about Tyler Perry that I don't think he understands is that there's always a good story in there. But just lately, it's like he just can't seem to fully realize it. Like, I watched The Oval, there's a good story in there, but the cacophony of the weird acting and scene beats and the choices that the directing makes, it just hampers down the show so much. Same thing with Sistas. Like, there is a good story in here. A good story about empowerment and sisterhood and love and romance and forgiveness and growth and arcs. But it keeps getting hampered down by the weird scene directions. Because I know that he's probably directing the people how to act, right? Because none of the people on this show are bad actors. Some of these people have been child actors. Like Hayden. Hayden is the creme brulee guy from High School Musical, brother. He was also in The Fosters. That nigga's been acting for a few years now. So I don't really expect, and to be honest, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if that's because he's one of the most experienced people there, but when I'm watching a scene with Hayden, I don't feel confused. So you know what? Maybe it's the fact that a lot of these people are new or haven't been in anything that's been very big. But Hayden is the only person that I can rely on when I'm watching him in a scene to be like, okay, yeah, Hayden is doing this for this reason, or he is feeling that way for this reason. So I will just say that I think Hayden is the easiest to understand in this story, which sucks. I would prefer that when it comes to like the bad guy, he keeps me on my toes because I'm not sure what he's going to do. Well, of course you're not sure what Hayden's going to do, but you know he's going to do something bad. Right? Whereas with all the other characters, I'm super confused. I'm super confused. And I'm going to bring this up especially when it comes to Danny and Andy. They confuse the crap out of me. Sabrina and Karen also confuse me, but on a lesser scale, because they play more towards their actual character. So it's more like I can guess why they're doing what they're doing. Whereas with Danny and Andy, because they keep going through these weird moments of like up arc, down arc, I just get really confused as to why they're doing certain things. So there were revelations that happened in the last 2 episodes. I'm just like, yeah, this is why you were doing this, Andy. Yeah, Danny, you're gonna do this, even though. So the writing, the acting, the scene directing, it's so confusing. That's just one of the main things, right? One of the main problems I have with this show. So why do you watch it? Let me tell you why I continue to watch this show, even though it's making me talk all passionate and angry like. I actually like Tyler Perry's old stuff, so I try to give his new stuff a try. Also, romance and drama is the only genre where I will watch something that's trash or bad. It's where I have most of my guilty pleasures from. If it's like the superhero or action genre, I don't watch it if it's bad. I can't stomach it. I don't know why. Explain down below if you're like this too. But when I'm watching like something that's romantic or dramatic, if it's bad, I could complain, but it wouldn't be as hostile to me as if it was something serious like a superhero thing. If it's a superhero thing, it has to be written well. I can't watch a superhero thing that's bad. I can't. There might be one exception to it, but that's because of a bias that I have, and I'll bring up that in another video. But yeah, I'll continue to watch some Tyler Perry. I can't watch everything Tyler Perry does. I think I watched a little bit of The Bros, which is supposed to be like the male version of Sistas, but the acting was even worse in that, and I was like, no, I can't. I can't. And they have the queen, Chandra Corelli, acting like this. Oh, Tyler, prison sentence. But with Sistas, there's just so much potential. I keep watching, and also it's in my exception box of drama and romance. So I keep watching because I can't stomach watching bad drama and romance. So that is why there might be a few things here that I'll watch that I don't like. That is why. What is the other thing that upsets me about this show before I get into the characters? I don't like the acting. The acting makes me like, the acting will say one thing, right? But then the way that it's acted portrays something else. And I will get into that when I get into Danny and Andy, because they are the biggest proponents of this. They are the biggest proponents of this right now. And you know what? It's not just Hayden that I understand when I see him on the screen. Most of the men in the show are pretty straightforward. Except Q, but I guess that's just to throw everybody off. Most of the men on the show are pretty straightforward. When they say something, I believe them for the most part. But for some reason, Tyler is letting the girls play more aloof, where they say one thing but they mean another, or you think that they're saying a hard no with one thing, but someone is able to break them down, but you don't see that the person is breaking them down. You just see that they do something that's the complete opposite of what they said 5 seconds ago. But apparently it's supposed to read to us as, oh, in those last few scenes you saw with them and that person, they were actually breaking them down. And it's like, well, that didn't read. The acting didn't read as, I'm kind of feeling this. The acting read as a hard no, and then all of a sudden it was a hard yes. Like, can we, let's get into characters, because I know some people might not have understood what I just said. Let me get into Danny immediately. Okay? Danny is the main proponent of saying one thing and doing another. Danny is also the main proponent of confusing me. Let us get into the unfortunate triangle that is Danny, Q, and Preston. I apologize to Tyler Perry in that last voiceover, and if I can find it, I'll post it. But I apologize because I was upset with the way that Danny's character progression was going. Like, very upset. And I didn't understand why he was doing this to her. I didn't get it. You heard it in my very last Sistas video that's here on the channel. Please watch that. I didn't understand why he was doing this to her. But halfway through season 5, I got it, right? She was finally becoming a little bit of a better person, a little bit less reckless. Unfortunately, some very traumatic things happened, but it seems like she was taking her romantic life and her sexual health more seriously. And then she got back together with Preston. And I was like, oh, so you were just giving her an arc. One of those unbearable arcs that make people better. Oh, Tyler, I get it. I'm sorry. I was upset for no reason. Only for her to sleep with Q. Let me discuss why this bothered me. I threw up. Why would you do that to her PH, Tyler Perry? Why would you do that to her PH? Why did she have to be the one who did this? To be honest with you, unpopular opinion, I feel like it would be easier for me to like accept that like Gary went both ways and Andy's pH got messed up. I would have preferred that. Don't mess up Danny's pH. Stop it. So what I was saying about an actor being broken down in a scene, Q was on Danny immediately, trying to get her to go out with him, trying to get her to buy him a drink, flirting. And because when Q came around, she had just started to try to get back to a semblance of normal with Preston, she was saying no to almost all of his advances. Now, the way that Mignon, that's Danny's actress's name, the way that Mignon played these scenes, I did not see that Q was slowly breaking her down and she was slowly becoming more interested. Now I know some of you could say she was never interested. It's just that self-destructive thing that Sabrina was talking about. Because she had an argument with Preston. That's why she slept with Q. Okay. But the issue with Danny is that her acting can be so weird sometimes that it seems like she's uninterested in something, but she actually is. You know what I mean? And so me thinking she's never gonna sleep with him, but then she ends up sleeping with him. It's crazy because you don't expect her to do that because of the way that she's acting. But it's like an episode or two before she sleeps with him, we get this verbal explanation from Sabrina that when she's running away from something, she makes destructive decisions, which I guess we can garner from the show. But it's like they put that little tidbit in there right before she sleeps with Q to explain that even though she's been saying no to Q all this time, now all of a sudden we're just supposed to think that it's fine that she's sleeping with him. I don't like that because I don't think it was written well enough. So it still felt like it came out of nowhere. It still felt like it came out of absolutely nowhere. I don't even understand how this happened. Christ. It made me so mad. I'm like, the gay for play nigga? That's who she's taking out her frustrations on Preston with? And let me not even get on her relationship with Preston. Tyler, what is the point? I will say now, right? I'm usually on Preston's side, but this time I'm not on his side. This time, let me explain why. I'm not on his side fully. Danny was right when she said that he's just going to keep trying to threaten her with the marriage to this other girl. And when he explained it, it was so stupid. You just expect me to be alone? Like, it's either you or it's her, but I would like it to be you. It's like, Preston, shut up. Shut up. You can see, and this is what's difficult about her acting. The way she's acting, it's saying that she kind of doesn't care, and he could just go marry her, and then she could end up feeling bad about it later. He could end up going to marry the girl, right? And Danny could end up feeling bad about it later, right? That's how she acts. But we're supposed to gather that there's nuance to Danny's feelings and that she doesn't want him to move on, but she just can't say it. But here's the problem with their relationship, right? Problem number one, Preston is giving her all these ultimatums. I'm gonna get with this other girl if you don't like commit to me. He is doing that, so I can understand why she's frustrated by that. Most of the other issues she had with Preston, I'm like, girl, that's work outable. Like, that is work outable. Like, girl, do what you gotta do. I would. But like this particular issue, like, Preston, you're wrong for that. Make a decision. Do you want Danny? And if you want her, leave the other girl alone. Or be single and wait. If you do not want to wait on it, then go to the other girl. But do not tell Danny that. Don't tell Danny that thought process. That's really like manipulative. That is manipulative. And so I'm on Danny's side with that. I didn't like that. And I hated that because Preston is one of the best boys in the show. Right? He has like the least red flags. He's the most gentlemanly. He's the most trustworthy. And I love this little bromance with Zach too. Like, all you Zach lovers, I prefer Preston, but I like Zach and Preston's relationship. So I didn't like that, but nobody's perfect, right? So he has to have a flaw, and his flaw is that he is a little manipulative when he doesn't get what he wants, which I can understand since he's like a privileged white rich country boy. So I think it's interesting that that's coming out now, but I didn't appreciate it because I'm like, bro, you see Danny. But that's what's so confusing about Danny. I'm not sure if she really cares to that extent. I'm not sure. Now, we can say that maybe she is, because she just slept with Q because she was upset about Preston, which is supposed to show that she really does care about Preston. But does she care about Preston, or is she just frustrated with him so she's lashing out? Because I feel like those are two different things. That was my main concern watching these episodes, because Danny is my favorite character, as y'all know. So seeing her go through all this was just terrifying. Seeing her being abused by that nigga, like, what? Tyler, what is the point? What is the point? Like, what am I supposed to gather from all of this? Right now, I just want Danny to go to therapy and relax. Like, it's getting to the point where I don't even want her to be with Preston anymore. And that is a giant leap from where I was a couple months ago with her character. This is how bad the writing has gotten that I don't even want the most healthy relationship to stay together anymore. Because don't play with me. The relationship is the most healthy. Which is why I hate that he just kind of threw it all away, because it was such a good relationship. They could have stayed together. God. Obviously, she got to tell Preston what happened, and there's gonna be a whole blow up about that, and I just don't got the time. I just really don't got the time for this. Okay, next one. All right, so excuse me, let's get into Andy, like, immediately. Okay, also, I'd like to say, just to know that the person who's annoying me the most right now is Danny and not Karen. Also a giant leap from where I was months ago. You can see like the giant difference from my last video and this one. Tyler, you're doing the absolute most. The absolute most. Anyways, Andy. So you want me to believe the ditzy lawyer, right, is just using Gary so she can become partner? That's what you want me to believe. What kind of plot twist is that? It wasn't even a cool plot twist, like, ooh. There were a couple scenes in these last 2 episodes where they were trying to frame Andy as like this super cool, authoritative badass. I'm not falling for it. She is the girl who got back with this nigga after he almost choked her to death. I'm not falling for she's smart. She hasn't even gone to therapy. Andy is not smart, bro. She might be smarter than your average bear in the Tyler Perry universe, but she's not smart. Y'all just threw that in there. I've never once heard her talk about partner. There's been so much dramatic crap going on in this show that she hasn't even really been talking about moving upward in her job since she was able to get that elevated position with that elevated money. Stop playing with me. Gary be like, so you were using me? Yep. But then it's like, if she was really using him, why wasn't he more upset? Instead, they use it as like, oh, that's sexy. She was using me for power. She was like, yeah, I was using you for power. Get back on the bed. Like, what? Like, was she just using Gary, or does she actually still love him? Because it's almost like those scenes were supposed to show to us that she's staying away from Robin because she was hurt by what he said, but also because she's trying to play the long game with Gary, and she doesn't want Gary to be too agitated, and she wants to use Gary. But then at the same time, it's like, no, she's not really using Gary. Or maybe she was trying to just watch Gary at first, but the sex was spectacular, and now she wants him again. Like that's what I'm saying. Andy and Danny are so confusing. I cannot tell what their actual motives are. So even when you say she is just using him so that she can calm him down, so that she can get partner, she was sleeping with him for a while now. How long has this partner thing been a thing? I feel like this isn't the flex you think it is, Tyler. I feel like you could have told us that she was trying to be partner, and she knew that Gary would get in the way of that because he's jealous, so she slept with him because of that. I feel like you could have let us in on that. It would have made me appreciate her just a little bit more. Tiny bit, not really. I don't like Gary. I don't. I brought this up in my last video. I don't understand why you're trying to redeem him. Especially if he's still friends with Hayden, who is just like, ugh. Why? Why are you trying to redeem Gary? Like, for what? And then it's like, it seemed like Gary was doing way better, but then he's not, because he's still trying to get Robin fired, even though he knows that she's not fucking with Robin right now. I just, Andy is just not my favorite. And let's bring up the Andy, Fatima, and Karen thing. Karen was right. Let me explain why. Work best friend and life best friend is two different things. I've had a couple work best friends. Love them to death. Absolutely love them. I know she'll never watch this, but Shane, I miss you. If my best friend want to know something, for the most part, I'm gonna tell him about you. Like, that's not, why is it that, like, especially when it's like Karen and she's feeling all these ways. I know Fatima is cool, but this, like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in this show. Let's be honest. Now, tell me if you're like this, like if you were on Andy's side in the whole debacle. Usually I don't care, but when Karen brought it up, I was like, you know what? She have a point. This is your best friend. If she's asking you about her competition, right? Because Fatima was her competition at the time. Even though we all know it wasn't really competition, but Karen didn't know that because Zach just randomly slept with her. So of course she thought that there was still hope because that nigga put his dick in her. So of course she's like, I'm your best friend. Why are you hiding all this stuff from me? Having all this loyalty towards her. You should have loyalty to me. I kind of agree with that. Like, in the beginning, I thought it was fine that she was like playing the fence with the both of them because it didn't really matter. But when stuff comes to a head, like Zach came in there on a rampage, you should have told her. You should have told her. All that happened because of Andy. All that happened because of Andy. I'm blaming Andy for that. Let me know below what you guys think about that restaurant scene, but I'm blaming Andy for that 1000%. I don't understand why, because to be honest, if we're being honest about it, I feel like she respects Fatima more than she respects Karen, and I feel like Karen didn't have to apologize also. You see the flip from the last video and this one, how much I'm giving Karen. Okay, but yeah, like I just don't think that Karen was in the wrong in that situation specifically. Karen was right. Wow, that hurts to say. Tyler, I can't stand you. But Karen was right. Karen was right in that situation. You were wrong. And the whole picture, I'll get into Karen later. But yeah, I don't like what Andy did there. And to be honest, it does seem like she likes Fatima more than Karen, and Fatima is more her best friend. It's like I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, if this is the Mandela effect, but I feel like she's told Fatima things that Karen has done or said. I feel like she's done that before. So for her to be like, I don't say what you do and I don't say what you do, it's like, I feel like that's a lie. I feel like you lying. But okay. Excuse me again. Anyways, yeah, Andy, not my favorite. She's at the bottom tier right now. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. With Andy and Robin, she's slowly starting to forgive him. They're getting that banter back that made me like them in the first place. I still think she should pick Robin. I don't understand why she's still entertaining Gary, especially after she told him that she was using him to keep him distracted so that she could get partner. Why are you still with him then? I'm not even saying that she has to get with Robin, because I know that's a conflict of interest. He's the boss or whatever, but like, girl, leave Gary alone. I prefer Robin. I will always prefer Robin. And let's talk about Robin for half a second. I don't care that he mildly slut-shamed her, because he was right. It is weird that she just sleeps with any attractive guy at the office. It is. Like, for somebody so smart and business savvy, she's kind of stupid, bro. Like, how many people heard about the Paris thing? Not many. So she was smart enough to keep that under wraps. But Gary found out because he's crazy. Then Gary told Hayden because Gary's stupid. And Gary's bitch made. So he'll gossip to his little friend Hayden. Creme brulee. Right? I feel like Robin had every right to see it as a red flag that he wasn't the first office relationship that she had. You know? And I know it's only one other person, but the way that she is also very non-committal as well, right? You could tell that Robin kind of wanted a relationship, and he was being really patient about waiting for one and willing to just give her whatever she needed and help her with millions of dollars worth of help. So to hear that she also had a non-committal relationship with someone else at work is like, oh, so you just be using and fucking niggas. I can see where he got that from. We all know that Andy is not a hoe, okay? But from Robin's perspective, I could see how he just felt used and was angry in that moment. And let me just say, he didn't say anything half as bad as what Calvin said. So before y'all come in the comments talking about, but he said that, remember what Calvin said? Remember what Calvin said to Sabrina? And I don't want to hear the excuse if he was grieving. Calvin sounded like a whole gay man, cursing Sabrina out like he sucks something. I just want y'all to remember that. Anyways, so I wasn't mad at Robin for that. So I'm glad that she's starting to get over it, and that maybe their relationship could be repaired and she can finally leave Gary. Unfortunately, because of what Gary is doing, Robin is not the richest man in the show anymore, which is really annoying. I don't like how they're trying to give Gary all of this intelligence now. Get Gary off my screen, please. Yes, he's nice to look at, I guess, but I prefer Robin. I just want Robin, okay? I don't need to see Andy with anybody else. Get this man off my screen. One thing I will give Andy is that she kept the little condo, which is what I wanted her to do, so good on you. I also appreciated how her friends have been calling her out, you know, how Danny called her out in one of her last lucid moments of common sense. So, you know, there's also that, but whatever. Also, so sorry guys, this video might be a little long, but it is what it is. I want to get through everything instead of going episode by episode. The last episode I saw was episode 20, just so you guys know where I'm at. So if you've seen past that, please do not spoil me. I may make a video going episode by episode after this. Now, let us get into Sabrina, because I want to talk about Karen last. And for good reason this time. I hate you, Tyler Perry. Sabrina is finally starting to make sense. finally. So she was put in prison because Q decided to lie. And the cops, stupid as they were, took something that was obviously said sarcastically as an admission of guilt. I've never seen anybody more incompetent in my life than Danny's cop. Just stupid. Just really stupid. I can't even believe. Oh my god. So Q gets to walk around free for now, while Maurice and Sabrina rot. So of course, Andy used the last few million from Robin to get Sabrina out. So Maurice is still in there. And I'll talk about Maurice because they're kind of one and the same. I respected that he wasn't going to flip on her, but he started to get weak really fast. And at first I was upset with him, but I'm still kind of upset. Nigga, you in prison. Like, and plus it's like, first you could say just because he's gay doesn't mean he would like prison, but then you could see that he was actually enjoying some of the attention that he was getting. So it's like, okay, yes, it's a difficult situation. I'm sure some things happen that are unfavorable, but there were also a bunch of bright sides that regular men who go to prison would not like. So I have sympathy for him, but it's a lot less considering Tyler made sure to show us that he had a attractive roommate that was into him, and he was sitting down beside some guy who was into him and he was into the guy, and so it's like, calm down. You don't need to flip on Sabrina. You don't need to. Like, you are literally having a little vacation here. I feel so sorry for Sabrina because, she's right. She went to federal prison, bro. So it's definitely going to be hard for her to get back into the banking world or get a high-paying job, period. She might have to do, it's going to be tough for her, and I feel sorry. Because I do agree that she is the nice one in the group. She's still a little rude to Danny, but it is what it is. She is the nice one of the group, so it's like, it's least likely that she will be involved in something like this. So it's just, I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad. However, we got confirmation for right now, because anything can happen, that the prince was not at fault for anything, and apparently she likes the prince. Now, at first I thought they were going to try and get her back together with Calvin. They were having all these Swedish moments, but because she was so grateful that the prince was willing to help Maurice, she decided, to date him a little bit. I mean, you might as well throw it back on it. He's spending a couple mil on you. Throw it back. Oh, I'm just using the TV show logic, guys. It's not what I would do in real life. Anyways, so her and Obiwe, or whatever his name is, will be, trying something. We'll see how that goes. I like that for her because, I prefer him to Calvin. And Calvin is trying to, change, be better. Good for you, sis. Maurice was terrible, but, that's just Maurice. He's having a better attitude. He's being very grateful. So I appreciate that from him. And I think that's about it for Sabrina and Maurice. I'm not going to bring up the conversation that Maurice had with Andy because that goes into what I said about them trying to frame Andy as this badass, and I'm not falling for it. Yes, she was right. Maurice was being very disrespectful. Correct. But I don't like Andy enough to care that he was being disrespectful to her. She said what she said, and she was right, so, whatever. But the whole her putting her foot down, I'm like, I wish you would have put your foot down Gary's throat. That's what I wish you put your foot down on. Anyways, next, let's talk about Fatima. Everything that's happening with her and Zach is laughable, bro. Laughable. Zach, let me think about you for a second, bro. Why did you think it was a good idea to fight him? And this is what I spoke about in my last video, I think. My last voiceover that's lost, the Lost Files. If you don't love Karen anymore like that, right? You always have love for her, but you're not in love with her. Why does Aaron upset you so much? I don't get it. And I don't want to hear, oh, you saw what's going to happen in episode 21 and 22. Aaron has some cousins in the closet. Maybe Zach could tell that he wasn't being genuine. No. I would never give Zach that much sense of intelligence. He was acting like he was still in love with Karen. He was being a jealous little bitch. Which is why, as mad as I was at Karen, and I was really mad, seeing him beat the crap out of Aaron made me realize she had a reason to be so pathetic and crazy. Because if this nigga really gonna beat up your new nigga, of course you gonna think that he's still in love with you and you still have a right to being his partner in life. I thought it was just a running gag, he doesn't really respect Aaron. But then he had scenes where he was like, Aaron's pretty cool. But really, you gonna hit Aaron? Aaron was just telling you not to talk to Karen like that. She's pregnant with your kid, quote unquote. I still think it might be Aaron's, but we gonna leave it alone. She's pregnant with your kid, allegedly. Why would you grab her up like that? The one thing you had going for you, Zach, is that you weren't an abuser. Now it's like because you're sick and tired of Karen's ish that you could become one. Okay, Chris Brown. Anyways, that was ridiculous. I can't even bother. Zach keeps flying by the seat of his pants, flying by the handles. It's just, if anybody has good luck, it's that nigga Zach. It is that nigga Zach. Like, bro, please calm it down and do better. I would leave it a bit upset if you ended up going to prison this time. And I never agree with Hayden, but Jesus, you're just wild and reckless. Fatima, I love the introduction of her beautiful cousins, the mafia don one and the busty one that works close to her office. I hate that she showed that picture of Karen because that started restaurant gate, and I hated every second of that because it was obviously just a hug, but niggas gon' see what they want to see. But I like the subplot of her messing with Hayden romantically. However, because the acting is so bad on the women's side, I don't know if that girl is actually starting to fall for Hayden, and not fall for him like completely in love, but like believing the delusion that he'll actually take care of her. I don't know if she is falling for that. So that's why I'm kind of worried, because when Fatima told her don't take the receptionist job, right, but she did it anyways, is she just doing it because she's a hood rat who needs a job and would like a stable one? Or is she doing it because she's low-key starting to believe Hayden? That's what I need answered. If you guys know whether or not Miss T, I know her name starts with T, Tamara, T something. If T is being genuine and wants a job for good reasons, or if you think she's falling for Hayden's trap, or if you think that she's playing Hayden and Fatima, because any three could be it at this point. The acting's so bad. The acting is so bad in this show that each scene could go 3 different ways story-wise, and I hate that. Ugh, whatever. So Fatima is trying to fix things for her and Zach, because Zach got 2 baby mamas. Well, 2 allegedly, 1 confirmed. So yeah, I respect what she said about not marrying him until he had all that figured out. So I feel like she should put down the ring a little bit, because I feel like I wouldn't put on the ring until I knew for sure that like Karen's baby is his or not. Like we're having a DNA test. Because here's what I want to say about that Karen situation. She said it could have been either of them, but by the time you said I think it's Zach's. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if that scene was acted poorly, but when she said that, I didn't believe her. It just felt like she was like, even though it could be Aaron's, I'ma say it's Zach's. Like, the logic didn't make sense to me. So for Fatima, I really hope that she, you know, asks Zach to get a DNA test, because I don't trust that, and I don't trust Karen. I feel like now that Karen has finally gotten everything out, I feel like now if she had gotten the news now, she would have asked for a paternity test later on. But I feel like because she was still in that I'm obsessed with Zach phase before she got the news of the time the baby was conceived, or the estimated time, I feel like that's why she was like, it's Zach's. Remember, she didn't even tell Aaron the estimated time. So I feel like if she got the news now, she would be more level-headed about it. Whereas because she got it before when she was acting crazy, she just automatically was like, yep, that means it's Zach's. So I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be a big plot twist. That, ooh, Zach spent all this time preparing for this baby and it's not his, you know? So we'll see. Also, is Zach planning to be a part of the other kid's life? Because that is his kid, right? He got a DNA test on that one. That is his kid. I think it's kind of weird that he's not. I understand he doesn't like the woman. I get that. But, like, do you care about the kid? Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? People really be complaining about how you don't need to be married to have kids. And lots of kids are in single mother homes. But do you know how affected a child is? To, like, be in a school where you have even just 1 or 2 or 3 persons that have a nuclear family and they don't have that. Do you know how that feels, bro? I don't know. I don't even want kids, but I'll be thinking about this more than the people that want kids. They just be like, I don't care. I'm independent. I can just have a baby. Sure, you can. But unless everybody else in the world is going to be following suit, your kid is going to feel left out of something, because the kid is going to be feeling his environment, not just what you tell him at home. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of side-eyeing Zach for not being more involved in the child's life. I hope he gets more involved later, because that's just kind of scummy. We can tell he's going to be involved with the Karen's child, because Karen is not going to let that man not see the baby. But his other kid, the one that's confirmed to be his kid, like, I ain't even hear you say nothing but about her, except that you gonna give her money for the kid, that you don't like her. Like, come on, Zach, damn. Kids need more than money. The kid will end up being messed up no matter how much money you give it, because you're not in his life. So I hope that I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Anyways, not really much to say. I spoke about Fatima in the Andy section. I don't really blame Fatima for that at all. She's always been very respectful to Karen. So, yeah, Fatima is cool. I like Fatima. I like Fatima a lot. I think I should start watching Zatima. Like, guys, let me know if Zatima was good. If you think it's something that I would enjoy, let me know. Unpopular opinion. If you think it's better than Sistas. If you think that, like, oh, you won't get as upset as you are now with Zatima, like it's more relaxing, it's better, let me know. It made me more excited to check it out, because if it's as bad as this show, I don't really need to see an extension of this. It's like when you watch The Oval and then you just decide to watch Ruthless. Like, who in their right mind would do that? Like, The Oval is enough. We're not watching Ruthless. Ruthless is a spin-off of The Oval. Who else was I gonna discuss? Because I don't want to just jump into Karen right now. I'll just jump into Karen because I don't remember anybody else right now. I really liked Karen these last 2 episodes. Like, I really liked her. I liked that when she listened to her mom, she calmed down. So apparently Karen being this insufferable was just her being highly stressed and confused and not able to get her feelings out. So you know what, Karen? I'm sorry for hating on you. I'm not sorry for what I said. I meant what I said. You were being pathetic and crazy. But I'm sorry for going so hard on it and not giving you a chance to breathe. Well, let me not say that, because Tyler Perry ruins every arc. So let me just say that for now, I like where your arc is going. You are the best character right now. Like, Danny has now gone down a few notches and you are now at the top. So congratulations. If I like you, that means that you are a good character. I am upset though, because I have been waiting for her to respect Aaron for years. And now that she's finally doing it, Now Aaron has some more skeletons in the closet. Let me discuss this really quick, please. Why? I know there's this side conversation of he's too perfect, but to me, he's not. He meets her in a supermarket, hunches up on her immediately. Then you find out about his crazy ex-wife or his crazy wife that he's divorcing, and then she kills herself in the salon, and then the grandparents come and take his kids so he can't even see his kids. Like, he's not perfect at all. He is just more respectful than most of the other guys on the show. He's not giving me too good to be true. Cause as somebody who also believes in God, like, you meet men who are respectful like Aaron all the time. So he wasn't giving me perfect. So I just think it's really weird that Tyler is going to add fuel to the fire by like adding in this other woman. You know what I mean? To just be like, now that she is finally comfortable and she's going to apologize to Zach and she's finally sorting out her life and she's finally calm and she's finally going to give Aaron all of her attention and let him baby her and enjoy him. Now someone comes out of nowhere. And why am I upset about people you don't even know yet if it's a good or a bad thing? Because I know how Tyler acts. He's trying to put up a new, who would have thought? I don't like when you make characters likable, but then you just pull the rug up from under them over and over and over. They can't even get a half an episode of a break before you just pull the rug up from under them. Like, really? I can't enjoy Karen in peace. And part of me enjoying Karen is seeing her with Aaron. I can't even enjoy that without you throwing in this other woman. Obviously, he's not with her, right? Let me not say that, because he might be, right? He might not be with her. Maybe he was with her in the past, and that's why his ex-wife was crazy, because he was always cheating on her. And so now Karen can't trust it. Because now Karen can't trust him. Ugh, I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm upset. I don't like that they keep trying to villainize the two best men in this show, Preston and Aaron. Leave them alone, because Preston and Aaron already have problems. Don't add on to it. Don't give Aaron more problems. His wife died in that salon. How about we dig more into that? Dig more into how that relationship used to be. See his faults from that perspective. Don't add in another woman. You had 3 drama movies worth of drama with Aaron alone. You don't need to add in another woman. There's enough there for you to write a really deep, meaningful story, even if it means that they break up again because of that. You don't need to add another woman where she's just completely uncomfortable with him now because he got some skeletons in the closet. Ugh. Guys, you don't know how upset that made me. Because now that I'm giving up on Preston and Danny a little bit, I was now like completely team Aaron and Karen like I've always been. I'm like, you know, I've always liked Aaron with Karen, but Karen was never doing what I wanted to do. Now she's finally doing what I want her to do, and now you gonna mess up Aaron. Huh? Come on, Tyler, do better. Anyways, let me stop ranting. I know the video is long, but I need to say all of this because it's just how I feel. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Simmers. And goodbye, my sires. Sue.